So I'm going to talk about two main things that touched me during the camp. So the first one was the Word of God, which is the first weapon of warfare, which we need to practice. So what Pastor Brett taught us was that we discover God by reading from the Bible, and he taught us that Jesus is the Word. According to John chapter 1, verse 1, it says that the Word was God, so Jesus is the Word. And the second one that touched me was our battles according to the Bible. So Pastor Jono was talking about the devil trying to stop the gospel and the devil trying to stop marriages. So when he was preaching about that, he said, he quoted a verse from Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, saying that, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places." So these two things really touched me, and they made a really good impact on my life. So my previous knowledge on this word, I did not know about it, mostly because of my ignorance. And so I'm going to tell you how this word has blessed me. So it was a few weeks ago, probably a month ago, I was facing a very hard time. I was going through a very rough phase in life, and there were struggles and fights all over, everywhere, and people were just so bad, mean. I don't know how to put it, but it was just so bad, so hard. If I went to work, my manager would scold me for no reason. I came back home, my neighbors would just get into an argument for no reason. I went to uni, I would get into issues with my peers at the uni during for project. So it was a very hard time that I was going through, and I didn't know what to do. I was very upset, and one certain night, it was my parents' wedding anniversary, so I called them up and I told them happy anniversary, and I was really sad that I wasn't there. And then I got a call from my team member who was a part of the project that I was doing. So he called me up, and we got into a really bad argument, and I was really frustrated with that person because I helped him out through really tough times when no one was there for him. I stretched out my hand and helped him out. But this person was so mean that night, and I was so disappointed. And I felt like, I asked God, what is this? Why is this happening to me? Because I don't want to come to Australia, and it is you who brought me here, and why am I facing this? Why are people so bad to me? And what is happening? If it was back in India, I would have been like a king, and this guy... And I was really upset with the guy. I really wanted to hurt that guy. I know it's not a good thing, but that's what I wanted to do to that person. But then I couldn't sleep that night. It was almost 2:33. So I do what I do. I went, I took my phone. I just wanted to divert my mind from this. So I went to Instagram. I was just browsing through all the videos. And all of a sudden, there was a video of a person. He was talking about our battles in this world. So he was telling that, see, your battles is not with the human or your neighbor who's next door. It's against the principalities and the darkness, according to Ephesians 6:12. Then I was reminded, oh yes, I was taught about this during Easter camp. I was told about this, but I still didn't realize that. So at that moment, I realized that it's not my battle against my neighbor or my team member or my manager or anybody, but it is against the darkness. And the next day, I had a really good night's sleep that night, and the next day, I was just thinking about this, and I was thinking, okay, Pastor Brett told me that, so if you need to fight these kind of evil spirits, you need to have a weapon of warfare. So the first thing that came in mind was the Word of God. So I thought, okay, let me just read the Bible. So I just opened my Bible and I was just praying to God, okay, just speak to me something. So the very first verse that came to me was from Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 1, which said, when you go out to battle your enemies and see horses and chariots and people more numerous than you, don't be afraid of them, for the Lord your God is with you, who brought you from the land of Egypt. So God spoke to me that night. He spoke to me saying that, don't worry, it is I who brought you. When the situations may seem very hard and people around you might be numerous and everything might be against you, but then don't worry, it is God who brought you from the land of Egypt. Yeah. So God really spoke to me, and the Word of God did help me a lot that night. So after this, you wouldn't believe, but everything was laid to rest. Everything was calm. My neighbors became friendly again. My manager was very happy with me. My team members, all of a sudden, they started praising me. It was all of a sudden. But then I realized that what I was fighting was not against humans, but against the evil spirit. And fighting against them, you need weapons of warfare, and the Word of God was something that I would personally recommend for everybody to read. So my practical application of this word is, I'm trying to practice it every day. I try to read the Bible almost every day and pray. So that's all for now. Thank you.
Wow.